welcome to my Zoom talk today about hungry ghosts. Yeah. So how many of you know about hungry ghosts? Any of you? You all just know? Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure you all are very scared of this month, yeah, because you know there's so much information out there about what you cannot do and what you shouldn't do. You cannot go swimming, you cannot go jogging after sunset, you cannot take a bath at this time, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. And so, you know, a lot of people are very, very scared of Hungry Ghost Month. Okay, so I wanted to do this Zoom talk to clarify what this Hungry Ghost Month is about and what you can do to protect yourself if you are afraid. Okay, and yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the origin of Hungry Ghost Month. Okay, so every year on the 7th lunar month of the year, and not the solar month, the 7th solar month of the year is July for all of us, according to the Julian calendar, right? According to the Gregorian calendar. But we are talking about the Chinese calendar now and the Tibetan spiritual calendar. Okay, so on the 7th month of the lunar calendar, which will start very soon, I think I sent out a poster explaining which date it is, right? I think it starts on the, I know that the ghost day is on the 2nd of September. It starts on the 19th of August, which is the new moon day. Okay, this is called the ghost month. Okay, now the reason why many people are so afraid of this month is because during this month, it is believed that all the dead souls from the lower realms, okay, for those of you who don't know what lower realms mean the hell realms, the hungry ghost realms, and the animal realms. Okay, basically the ghost realms and the hell realms. Okay, the portal opens up, and then all the departed souls are allowed to roam in our dimension. So for about the first 15 days to the full moon, from the first new moon to the full moon, and from the full moon to the new moon, the whole month, the number of spirits that are in our space will just multiply in the billions. Okay, so this is considered a month that is where the energies of the world is a little bit dark. And over the years, you can see that even in the month leading up to Hungry Ghost, there will be a lot of deaths. So, you know, recently we've had this explosion in Beirut, which was quite sad. Not quite sad, very, very sad. And then, of course, you had the crash. Yeah. If you go back and check the history, every year just before Hungry Ghost, there will be something like that. And then forests will break out into fire by themselves, you know, all kinds of things, okay? Because this is just how it is. So let me talk a little bit about the history behind the Hungry Ghost Festival. So Hungry Ghost Festival is celebrated mostly in Asia. Those of you who live overseas, you may have heard about it, but you may not practice this in your own country. But in Asia, Southeast Asia, in Japan, in Korea, in Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, all these other places, even in Indonesia, the 7th month is regarded as a ghost month because it all goes back to the time of Buddha, where Buddha gave a teaching about this. Okay, the teaching was given in this sutra called the Ullambana Sutra or the Ullambana Sutra. So for those of you who are interested in this sort of thing, you can go and Google it and find it, or you can write to me and I can send you the sutra. Okay, so what happened was during that time, Buddha had a very, very important disciple. His name was Mauglana. He was very, very important disciple of Buddha. And he had meditated until he became very powerful, almost like the Buddha. He hasn't attained enlightenment yet, but he had at least attained, I think, the first stage of arhatship, I think. And he had all these supernatural powers. And so he went to look for his parents. Okay, his parents had passed away already. So he went to look for his parents. And he discovered that his mother was born in the preta realm. Okay, so we are living in the human realm at the moment, but there are so many other beings that live in other dimensions as well. Okay, and we are living in the human realm. There are 6 realms in total, 6 realms within what we have classified as the desire realm. Okay, So human realm is in the middle. And this is the best realm to be. To be born human, it is extremely special and very lucky. Because as a human being, you can transcend. Okay? You can attain enlightenment. You can transcend and go beyond. Whereas in other realms, it is not possible. Now, below the lower realms, you have three other realms. Okay. Now, in most traditions, you only know about the one realm, which is the hell realms. Okay. In most traditions, they simplify everything. There's human realm, and there's heaven realms, and then there's hell realms, right? But Buddha explained that if you go into a little bit more detail, there's actually a few more realms in between human realm and hell realms, and there's a few realms in between human realm and the God realms. Okay, so let's talk about the lower realms. So below the one realm below us is the animal realm. Okay, to be born as an animal in this life, you cannot attain enlightenment in this realm. As you know, you're animals, you cannot even read, you cannot even say prayers, you cannot even do good deeds. Okay, very difficult for you to create very positive karma for yourself. Very difficult for you to transcend and reach a higher state of consciousness. Okay, so animal realm is below, okay, human realm. And below animal realm, there is this realm called the ghost realm. More specifically, it's called the preta realm. Preta is a Sanskrit word. So in the preta realms, beings in this realm, they really suffer a lot because they cannot eat or drink anything. Okay? Okay, in the animal realm, they suffer a lot from fear of being eaten by other animals. Okay, that is the main kind of suffering. The main suffering is being subjugated by other animals or other humans. Okay, and that is the main suffering of beings that are born in animal realm. So if we do a lot of stupid things in this life, and we mistreat animals a lot, or we kill a lot of animals, next life we'll be born in an animal realm. Okay, then below that there's the ghost realm, or what we call the preta realm. Okay, now in the ghost realms, these are beings who end up in this state because in their life, when they were alive, they were very ungenerous. Okay, they were very miserly, and they were very arrogant. Okay, very full of themselves, very prideful, very greedy, very stingy. They did a lot of things for the sake of greed and all this. These are all the different sins that results in you being born as in a ghost realm. Okay, and in this realm, they have ghosts that are quite lucky, and then they also have ghosts which are not so lucky. So a very specific type of being in this realm is called the preta, which is a very specific type of hungry ghost that has very little merit, because they have so little merit that they cannot eat anything or drink anything. They are always hungry, okay, always hungry. So when you are born as a preta, your karma is such that even when you see the food, when you go near the food disappears or turns into something you cannot eat. And these beings have like really narrow throats, so that have like thorns inside their throats and things like that. So even when they try to eat, they really suffer a lot. Okay, so this is one group of beings, okay, that suffer a lot in this way. And then of course below that you have the hell realms, and within the hell realms, as I mentioned before, there's like, I think there are about 16 different types of hells: hot hells and cold hells. And of course, I don't need to say, if you did a lot of horrible things in this life, you murdered people, you killed people, you're a pedophile, all those things, you're a gangster and you shot lots of people, or you did a lot of very sinful things, of course you're going to end up in the hell realms. Okay, so these three realms below the human realms, the suffering is enormous. And if you end up going into one of these lower realms, you cannot get out of these lower realms until you have completely suffered every single negative karma that you have created. Okay, so then you can get reborn into a better realm. Okay? Now, if you as a human being and you have been doing a lot of good deeds and you have been a very good person your whole life, you help a lot of beings in this life, you're very kind, all those things, then when you pass away, either you can get reborn as a human being again, or you can get reborn in the higher realms, depending on the kind of merit that you created in this life. Okay, so when we talk about Hungry Ghost Festival, it all started because Buddha gave this teaching called in the Ullambana Sutra. And inside the sutra, it talks about how Maugliana, who is one of Buddha's very close disciples, he went looking for his mom, his parents actually, and he found, to his horror, that his mother was born in the preta realms, the hungry ghost realm. And so he tried to help his mother by giving her food, because she was in such a wasted condition. You know, she was in a terrible condition, skin and bones and all these things. And he tried to give her some food. But unfortunately, as soon as he gave her the food, because the mother had no merit to receive the food, it turned into black holes. The minute she was about to eat it, it turned into burnt food. She cannot eat it. Okay? And so as a result of that, Maugliana came back to ask Buddha for his advice. He says, Buddha, you know, my mother has now been born in the preta realms. I don't know what to do to help her. I'm very upset to see my mother like that. So then finally Buddha said to him, okay, this is how, if your mother is not the only one who is like this. A lot of people's parents and ancestors actually end up in the ghost realm or even in the hell realms, okay? So from today onwards, on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month every year, if you want to help your ancestors, okay, this is what you do, and it is mentioned in the sutra, okay? So in the Ullambana Sutra, Buddha says, what you do is on the 15th day, which is the full moon day of the 7th lunar month, you make offerings to the Sangha. Sangha is the monastic community, okay? You make an offering of, and he mentioned, in the sutra, it actually says very specifically, you offer a food of 100 different flavors. So 100 different types of food, okay? 5 types of fruit, okay? And then incense, flowers, things like, and money and robes, specifically clothes and robes, okay? You offer to the Sangha, the monastic communities. So normally if you go to Theravada monasteries, or you go to even Vajrayana Mahayana monasteries or whatever, on the 7th month, what they do is they practice a particular type of retreat. It's called the monsoon retreat, because it's during the monsoon period, okay, where they transfer all their merit to all the dead ancestors, okay. And it is also for this reason that during the 7th month, a lot of Buddhist lamas and Rinpoches, they do a lot of very special practices for those who have passed away. So actually, the 7th month is not we call it the ghost month, but actually this month is a very important month for us to actually liberate our ancestors from the lower realms. This is the true meaning of the ghost month, okay? Many people think ghost month is about lighting joss stick and burning paper mansions and things like that. All that is true, because you see, if you understand how Buddhism went around Asia, Buddhism finally made its way to China, but at that time China already had Taoism, you see. So wherever Buddhism goes, Buddhism will take on the flavor of the local, okay. So in China, because Taoism was already flourishing big time, Buddhism came and they incorporated Buddhism into Taoism, which is why in Taoism they recognize all the great bodhisattvas like Siddhigarbha, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, all these great bodhisattvas, okay. So those of you who are new to these words, don't worry, okay. You will understand. I'm just giving some background. So in Chinese Buddhism, they recognize all these great bodhisattvas, and so they incorporated many of the Buddhas into all their rituals. So in Taoism, which is what majority of the Chinese people in Asia practice, on Hungry Ghost Month, they do a lot of prayers during this month. Every day they'll be burning joss stick. Every day they'll be burning this paper for their ancestors, okay? For those of you who are not familiar, in Asia, the Chinese, what they do is they burn paper money, paper money, paper cars, paper mansions, paper iPhone, paper Samsung phone, paper anything, okay, for their ancestors, okay. So this is a month actually to help your ancestors, but not just your ancestors, to help all the ghosts attain liberation. Okay, so this is a very important month, and it is a very special month that you can use to actually create a lot of very good karma for yourself. Okay, so now so throughout the years, because this is a month where apparently the gates of the lower realms, the gates for the lower realms open, and all the souls get to come up into the surface, into our dimension. Of course, there will be a lot of ghosts flying around the place. That is true. Okay, this is a month where there will be lots and lots of ghosts. Okay, and when there's lots and lots of ghosts around, people who have very low internal spiritual energies, they can become they can be subjected to possible spirit harm by some of these spirits. Okay, so those of you, if you don't know how to know whether your spirit is low or not, this is where those of you who are buying astrology books from Lilian Tu for so many years, inside there's a chart, right? That XXX00 chart. I'm sure you've seen it. If you don't know what that chart looks like, it's okay. I will post it on my website. You can go and visit it, okay? I will post the chart. It will tell you this year which animal has got low spirit essence, which animal has got high spirit essence, and all these things, okay? So if your spirit essence is low, and here I want to talk a little bit about spirit essence now. All of us have an aura, okay? A protective aura. Our aura is what protects us from external influences and from illnesses. Okay, this aura is not the same thing as your immune system. Let's call it your spiritual immune system. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we have our physical immune system, and we also have a spiritual immune system. If your spiritual immune system is very strong, it is very difficult for spirits to harm you. Okay, spirit cannot enter your body. If spirit cannot enter body, nobody can make you sick. You will not get sick. Okay, now if your internal immune system, your spiritual immune system is not very high, then you are very susceptible to spirit harm. Very easy for you to catch a spirit. You go to the wrong place, wrong time, spirit will attach itself to you. You go to funeral, spirit will attach itself to you. You go to, places with a lot of spirits like hospitals, spirit will attach themselves to you. One of the places that have a lot of spirits is hospital, okay? 100% guaranteed. Of course, people die there all the time. Okay, and spirits when a person passes away, as I talked about, I think recently, last week when I talked about death, what happens to you when you die? What happens to you when you die is your spirit lingers around the place where you die, or it lingers around the house, or it lingers in your graveyard. Those are the main places where the spirit will linger. Okay. Now, during the Hungry Ghost Month, the ghosts from the ghost dimension are allowed to come into our dimension. This is a month where you may receive dreams or visits from your ancestors, your mother, your grandmother, somebody. You may see a moth flying into your house, or a toad, or some kind of very, very unusual thing happening, like a dog coming to visit you or a cat coming to visit you. If during this month you start to see animals come to visit you, you feed them, okay? You don't shoo them away. Okay, it could be your relative of yours visiting you, huh? Okay, could be a relative of yours visiting you. So if a cat comes or a dog comes or whoever, or a moth comes, okay, don't shoo them away. Instead, the best thing you can do for them is to chant some mantras for them to help them be liberated into the next life. So because of the fact that there's an increased number of spirits during this month, we Chinese are very careful about this. Okay, so if we are very careful to protect ourselves from this. So this is why we say children and old people, these are the two categories of people who are very, very susceptible to spirit harm because they are young or they're very old. So if you're very old, your spiritual and your physical immune system is not so good, correct? Okay, and if you are a very, very young child, like a baby, yeah, especially babies, your spiritual immune system is definitely not developed. Okay, your physical immune system is developing only, and your spiritual immune system is also not there. which is why babies should stick very close to their mother. I am a great believer of this. When you as a newborn child, it is not a good idea to leave your newborn child in the room to sleep by themselves, okay? Don't do that. I know the modern world likes to do this, you know, they like to foster independence and all that. But the old way, where the baby is next to you all the time, next to your heartbeat all the time, at least for the first year of their lives, is very important, because at that time, the baby and you, your auric connection is very strong, which is why mothers can hear their babies crying from a mile away. Okay, mothers can hear their babies crying from 3 rooms, 4 rooms away. They wake up before their child wakes up. You know, they have a very special connection with their children. Okay, so during this time, babies should stay very close to the mother, especially during Hungry Ghost Month. Okay, don't leave your children to sleep in the room by themselves. Okay, it's very good for your children to sleep with you. And if your children comes to your room in the middle of the night and say, I'm very, very scared, I want to sleep with you, don't turn them away. Let them sleep with you, because your love for them is very powerful protection. Okay? So during this month, this is the reason why, because of the fact that there are so many spirits out there, we have all these taboos. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, what are some of the things that are out there? I'm sure you Google the internet, you can find a whole list of things you're not supposed to do. Okay, you are not supposed to, for example, don't go swimming after sunset. Okay, now why? Because after sunset is when all the ghosts come out. Okay? And many of these ghosts, they don't have a form. What is the difference between you and a ghost? The difference between you and a ghost is the ghost doesn't have a body. You have a body. Okay, the spirit, the soul is still there, but the soul cannot function in this dimension because the soul doesn't have a body. The soul is stuck in limbo with no body. They don't have the form aggregate. So because this soul has only 4 aggregates, don't have the 5th aggregate, they are dying for a 5th aggregate, which is the form. So because the spirit doesn't have a body, it looks for a body. And mind you, this spirit has been in the ghost realm for a long time. Many of these ghosts have been there for a long time. Some could have been there even before you were born. Okay, so if you are so they will find every opportunity to inhabit a body. And this is why, and so they will go into statues, they will go into dolls. And you know, so the Chinese say, don't hang your clothes in the clothesline after dark, because then when the ghost sees this t-shirt hanging there, the ghost thinks a body, then the ghost will go inside the t-shirt, and then next day when you wear the t-shirt, that's when the ghost will stick to you. That is the explanation behind all these superstitions. Okay, I'm just giving you the explanation of why we have all these do's and don'ts. Okay, and you decide for yourself what you want to follow and what you don't want to follow. Okay, and of course, because they come out during the night time, we always advise people not to travel during the night. Why? If you go traveling, especially in intersections, that's where a lot of accidents happen. Okay, and when accidents happen in intersections, a lot of spirits are still there. Okay? So the intersections, you know, crossroads are very dangerous. Okay, crossroads are very dangerous. Okay, those of you who go and study Feng Shui from me, I always tell you about crossroads, T-junctions and crossroads. T-junction, cross-junction also, okay? So these junctions are where all the spirits hang out. They're like the hangout for the spirits, okay? So can you imagine during Ghost Month, if you are driving in the middle of the night, you can suddenly see a dead person standing in the middle of the road. These stories are there. Bridges, I think everybody has a story about Penang Bridge, Singapore Bridge, all these bridges, yeah, so crossing bridges in the middle of the night, going on highways in the middle of the night or roads, you know, crossroads like that. So this is the reason why we advise people not to travel during the night time, okay, during Ghost Month. And of course, because, you know, the energy is not great, Ghost Month is not the perfect time for you to start a new business or open your business. I mean, these are all the Chinese believe all this. They don't start anything auspicious. So they don't get married. They try not to give birth to children, but sometimes cannot help it. Baby wants to come in Ghost Month, what are you going to do? Okay. And I'll talk a little bit about welcome. I mean, if the baby is coming out, the baby is coming, okay? You can do whatever you like, the baby is coming, okay? Try not to have, you know, do it 9 months before ghost month, okay? If you want to avoid ghost month. But people try not to get married during this time. People try not to open a new business during this time. People try not to do anything auspicious during this time because it is considered a very inauspicious month. Okay, but actually in reality it's not like that. Yes, there's a lot of ghosts hanging around and doing all these things. Okay, and this is actually what you need to do is to protect yourself from potentially being harmed by a spirit. The other thing you can do is to try to benefit many of these ghosts and spirits, especially your ancestors. Okay, so in the Ullambana Sutra, the one that I mentioned, Buddha said that if you make offering to 500 monks, you offer 500 monks, 500 sangha. You offer 100 different flavors. In some, I know that in the Gelupa tradition, they have a tradition of doing 100 toma offering during this time. In the Nyingma tradition, they do a lot of Jangjuk, Chautu, they do a lot of these prayers. So like Gelik Rinpoche, as you know, as many of you know, he's on the 2nd of September, which is Ghost Day, which is the 15th day. He will be doing this very, very special ritual for all the ancestors, you know, which is, and where they write the names of all the ancestors, and then he will basically do very many prayers so that the Buddhas will come and rescue all these ancestors from the lower realms and send them to Pure Land. Okay, so this is a very, very special month for that, specifically the 7th month, because this was mentioned by Buddha in the sutras. Okay, so this is why 7 months became, throughout the history, 7 month became a tradition, and this is the origin of the Hungry Ghost Festival. Okay, so the Taoists will do a lot of elaborate things, you know, during this. They will, like I said, they will burn all these things for their ancestors. Okay, and it is very good to do for ancestors, and it is also very good to do on behalf of ancestors who have not yet passed away. It says in a sutra, if you do this ritual as we mentioned, make offerings to Sangha, even those who are alive, those father and mother who are alive, they will increase their lifespan during this lifetime. These are some of the benefits. Their lifespan will be increased. They will also not be harmed by any bad things. They will also have a prosperity in this, the remaining years of their life. So Buddha says every year on the 7th month, this is a very good thing you do for your parents, for your grandparents. And if you do this, 7 generations of your ancestors will be rescued from lower realms. Okay, so this is actually what is the correct thing to be doing. And you don't have to be, now for those of you who are afraid of spirits and all this during this month, the best thing you can do to protect yourself is to pray. Okay, is to pray. Okay, now what prayers do you do? Now, because the origin of this comes from Buddha's teachings, so I'm going to suggest to you the prayers to do, which are Buddhist prayers. If you are not Buddhist and you don't want to do Buddhist prayers, just pray whatever prayer you have in your own tradition. Okay, now, so those of you who want to do prayers, I suggest you the very simple one to do is to do mantras of Guru Rinpoche, Om Ahom Beza Guru Pema Siddhi Hum, or to do the mantra of Tara, Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, or to do the mantra of Sitigaba. Okay? You don't have to do all, just pick one. Okay, pick one. If you want to do more, do more. But if you don't want, just, okay. And those of you who have been following me in my Dharma journey for some time, you already know a lot. So you can do sur offering. Sur offering, last week I did sur offering with all of you to show you how to do sur offering, right? Sur offering is very important because there are so many spirits this month who are so hungry. They have not eaten for I don't know how many years already. So please do sur offering, and please don't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid of ghosts. I 100% guarantee you they are more scared of you than you are scared of them. I 100% guarantee you that you are much, much, much stronger than them than they are. Those movies where you see ghosts sending things in haunted houses, you know how rare that is? That represents probably the minority of ghosts, the minority, like maybe less than 1% of the ghosts, okay? Yes, those kind of ghosts, died in a very, very tragic way. And they died they have accumulated a great amount of hatred and anger during the time when they were alive. Okay. And so then when they passed away, this hatred and anger was so strong, it kept them in this state for a long time. Okay. Then they turn into, and they get reborn as a very specific type of ghost, not a preta ghost, but a very specific type of ghost. So they are very rare, these kind of spirits, the ones that can do all these crazy things and go on top of you and do. But most normally, most ghosts don't have this. Sometimes you can see them, that's all. But they can't do anything to you. Not really. Okay? But if they know that you can see them, that's when they will come and disturb you. They're not disturbing you because of anything. They need your help actually. Because it's they are always looking for people who can connect with them. Ghosts are constantly looking for human beings because they want to contact their children, their grandchildren, all these things. They want to contact their family. There's no way to contact their family. So they are always looking for people who can see ghosts, okay? And then when you can see ghosts, did you watch the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg? It's exactly like this. If you watch Ghost, the show with Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg, the minute Patrick Swayze found out that Whoopi Goldberg can hear him, oh my God, he bugged her to death. Okay? A lot of ghosts are like that. So most of them cannot harm you. Okay, what they need right now is they need your help. They need for you to pray for them so they can go to heaven. Okay, they can go to Pure Land. Okay, so in order for them to go to Pure Land, they need merit. And those of you who understand merit, you know why. When you are stuck in the lower realms, it's because you don't have enough merit to be reborn as a human being. And if you don't even have enough merit to be born as a human being, how can you have the merit to go to Pure Land? Very difficult. Correct? You don't have the karma to even be born a human. How to have the karma to go to Pure Land? Right? So this is why Buddha gave this method. Buddha gave this method of making offering to Sangha during the 7th month. So during this month, go and do charity. Go and do charity to monastic community, specifically monastic community, on behalf of your ancestors. So when you are filling up the donation slip, you put the name of your ancestors, your mother, your father, your grandmother, whoever you can remember. It doesn't have to be, even if it's not related to you, your friends or family, someone close to you, okay, you do that for them. Every year during the 7th month, this is the best thing you can do. Okay, and then in order to protect yourself from being harmed, okay, by spirits and things like that, you chant mantras every day. Okay, very important, you chant mantras every day. You can, if you are afraid, you switch on the mantra music in your apartment or your house and let the music play all day. And that has got so many benefits. First benefit is negative forces cannot enter your house. That's one benefit. You create like an invisible force field in your house because the sound of mantra is very divine. Mantra is a divine sound. It's just not a normal sound. It is a divine sound. It is special sound. It's actually the sound of the Buddha's mind. Okay, like when you say Om Mani Padme Hum or Hum Om. These are. It's not the word, It's not the actual word. It's the sound. Mantra is sound. The mantras are very powerful. It creates a divine aura around your space. So for those of you who are a bit afraid, okay, you turn on the music. Turn on the mantra music. Go to sleep with the music. And this has so many benefits. So the first thing is negative forces cannot enter your home. The other benefit is all those spirits who can hear this mantra music, they will also get benefit. They also can be liberated. Liberation by hearing. Okay, so you can play any kind of mantra. Sitigaba also, any one of them. Amitabha is very good because eventually we want to get everybody into Amitabha Pure Land, correct? So you play mantra music morning to night, every day for the whole month if you want. Sing it along as you go. Okay, Guru Rinpoche is very good. that Guru Rinpoche mantra is very powerful for overcoming spirit harm. Very powerful for overcoming spirit harm. Especially those of you who know how to chant Bache Lamsel and Sampalon Chokma. These are the two very, very powerful prayers. So those of you who have been doing this every day, you continue. Okay, there's no need to be afraid. If you want to do extra things, extra generosity for these spirits, you do Rivo Sangcho as well as Sur offering. Specifically Sur offering actually, because they really can benefit so much. Okay, you can do Sur offering. So even if you cannot do every day, maybe you do at least on the new moon day and the full moon day, because those are merit multiplying days. Those are very special days. Okay, so this is yeah. And apart from that, of course, don't go swimming after sunset. Don't hang your clothes in the outside clothesline after sunset. And when you go to, and don't go to lonely alleys that are smelly and dirty. Okay, don't go to graveyards. Don't go to hospitals unless you're sick. Okay, don't frequent all these types of places. Okay, because yeah, if your spirit, like I said before, if your spirit essence is low, it is very easy for you to what they call 撞斗, meaning in Chinese we say 撞斗 means we bang, clash with the spirit. Okay, and then the spirit will attach itself to you. Okay, and follow you home. So then you can get sick, you can have a fall, these are some of them. You can get food poisoning and things like that. So try not to frequent all these kinds of places. Right now with the COVID situation, it's very easy to not go anywhere. So chances are you will not need to go. Even funeral also very difficult to attend because nowadays they don't allow. Okay, so better don't go to these kind of places during this month. So when children go out, make sure they wear a cap. Little children, when they go out during Hungry Ghost Month, wear a cap. Okay? Wear a cap. Okay? And don't allow your children to go play outside after hours. Now, if you left a doll or a toy outside overnight and you're worried that a spirit could have gone inside this toy, you can cleanse it first, okay? You just sprinkle sea salt on it, chant some mantras, and then it will go away. Oma home, oma home, oma home, oma home, oma home. Okay? Yeah. Don't leave out your toys outside. And for women who are pregnant, it's very good for them to wear amulet, especially Nangyalma amulet. Okay? So for women who are pregnant during this time or about to, and definitely if they're going to give birth during Hungry Ghost Month, they must do Tara Puja. Actually, do Tara Puja every day during Hungry Ghost Month. It's very important for women who are pregnant during this time.
I had an experience that I was sleeping in a place, and then I felt something on top of me, and I couldn't move for a few seconds, and I got very scared. And it was this happened in a friend's place, where her house has been in such a way that there's no natural sunshine coming into the place for more than 10 years. And I think it's a very
I'm not
yin.
surprised.
Yeah, I went there for a holiday, and I was getting ready to go for a trip with her to Thailand. And then that
Right.
night, I had diarrhea. I kept on going to the toilet, went back to bed, and I couldn't move. I was really scared.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so can you just mute, yeah? Okay, actually, I just want to tell you, when you all came for Feng Shui class, we told you that yin energy is when you have stagnant energy, correct? We explained that there's different kinds of qi. There's Sheng qi, which is the dragon's breath, and then there's Sha qi, which is the killing breath, and then there's dead qi, which is the stale qi, right? So when a living space does not have any people living in it, there's no yang energy. Okay, it's only yin energy. So a place that has no sunshine, a place where there's no light, a place where nobody stays there, like basements, for example. That's the other thing. During Hungry Ghost Month, don't go to basement, don't go under your house, all this kind of thing. That is when the spirits will come. Because you see, there are ghosts, not just during Hungry Ghost months. Normal months also, there's ghosts everywhere, correct? Okay, and ghosts share this space with us. We live in our space is, we don't live here by ourselves. Okay, there are actually other beings in this dimension, you just can't see them. Some people have a gift of seeing them, although they don't think it's a gift. Okay, but you cannot see them. So when the ghost comes and live here, they don't want to live in the same space where there's yang energy, humans living here. Okay, because you're moving, and they want a place where it's very quiet. So what they do is they tend to go to houses that are abandoned, or they go to rooms that are abandoned, or they go to hotel rooms where nobody stays there for months and months and months and months and months. Okay, those are the kind of places where ghosts will go. And of course, if you go in there and you stay there, they will not like it. So they try to make you leave. And one of the things that they do to make you leave is they press on you. Okay? Now, this is why it is very important to take care of two things. Okay? You need to take care of your physical energy space around you. And that's where Feng Shui is very important. You need to take care of the immediate space around you, both from a geomantic point of view, which means from a Feng Shui point of view, which direction is facing, blah blah blah, all these kind of all the formulas that you have learned in Feng Shui class that creates the auspicious energy for you. Then you have to spiritually protect your home, and that's when all the sacred art comes in, setting up an altar and all those things. So you need to protect your immediate space around you. Secondly, you need to protect yourself. Okay, you need to protect the way your mind is, what kind of mind you have. If you have a very negative mind, you are sure to attract a lot of spirits in your life. Okay, but if you are a very positive person, they don't want to come near you. You have nothing for them. When you are a very positive, happy person, you attract a different kind of spirit. You attract angels, you attract beneficial protectors, you attract all these wonderful Buddhas to come into your life, which is a very different kind of energy. Okay? So if you are a person who subject yourself to lots of anger all the day, people who are in stressful jobs, they're angry all the time. They scold people all the time. They're spouting harsh words all the time. They're fighting with people all the time, fighting. So their whole life is about conflict. And then they wonder why their life is so full of conflict, even at home. If your mind is one of conflict all the time, you will always attract conflict energies. People will fight with you. Even you don't fight with them, they will fight with you. Because that is your nature. Your nature is one of conflict. Okay. So this is the explanation to your question of why you have the ghost. Now, if you find yourself in a room where you have all these ghosts coming, you have to learn how to chant Guru Rinpoche mantra. Okay, Guru Rinpoche mantra is very powerful for this. Okay, actually, when I was several years ago, I don't know if those of you who came to Feng Shui class, you remember Stanley, yeah? So when Stanley went to Japan, he stayed in this hotel room, and according to him, he was attacked by a ninja spirit that night. Ninja spirit came to press over him, and he couldn't even speak. So what he did was, he couldn't even speak, so he couldn't even chant the mantra. But in his mind, he chanted Om Mani Padme Hum. And he said that a bright light came and chased this spirit away. Yeah. This is his experience, he told me. And actually, a few years ago, when I was in Santa Clara, Lillian and I were in Santa Clara, and we were teaching a magic course. Magic course, sure got spirits will come, because we are burning incense and we're talking about spiritual things. Yeah. So we stayed in this hotel, which, in my opinion, I think probably nobody stays there. But all our rooms had spirits in them. Every single Lillian's room had spirit. My room had spirit. Stanley's room had spirit. Stanley's room, his TV would on and off by itself. Stanley's room, the spirit will his TV would on and off by itself. Okay, and Lillian's room, she was losing things. Today it's here, tomorrow it's there. Today it's here. And my room, the spirit was living in the closet. Okay, because I would hang my dress there, and 2 minutes later, all my clothes will be on the floor. I'll hang my clothes, and 2 minutes later, all clothes will fall. You switch off the light, in the middle of the night, the light on by itself. So that hotel was so haunted. It was so haunted. So I told the spirits, okay, now this is your attitude when you are dealing with spirits, okay? Number one, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. Especially if you are taken refuge in the Buddhas, okay? If you have taken refuge in the Triple Gem, there's nothing to worry about, okay? It cannot touch you, okay? So this is the attitude. I had a chat with the spirit. I said, look, I'm only here for a week, okay? After I'm gone, you can have this room back to yourself. Right now, I'm just here for a week. Okay? I burn incense for you every day. You just stay in the closet and leave my clothes alone. Okay? So I said, look, I'm only here for a week, okay? Stop bugging me. When I off the light, I want the light to be off. And when I hang my clothes, I want my clothes to be hanged. Okay? Be nice to me for 1 week. And I will be nice to you, okay? Every day I burn you some incense. All right, is that a deal? And after that, no more. My blanket was on me the whole time. Otherwise, the first 2 nights, morning time I open the blanket is on the floor. Blanket on the floor, my clothes is on the floor, everything is on the floor. So don't worry about these spirits. They cannot really harm you. And if you're really afraid, my Guru Chidan Rinpoche used to say, take refuge. Yeah, you all know how to do refuge prayer, right? If you don't know how to say in Tibetan, say in English. I take refuge in the Triple Gems. Okay? Don't be afraid of them. Message for today. Don't be afraid. Second message for today. Pray for all these ghosts. That is the second message for today. Okay? So other than that, do you all have any more questions about hungry ghosts? So, okay, if you all don't have any more questions, thank you very much for joining. And I really appreciate all of you taking the time to join. So this month, like I say,
Thank you.
Do River Sangcho, do Sur offering. Those who know how to do Sur offering, do. Those who know how to do River Sangcho, do. Pray, chant Guru Rinpoche mantra, whatever mantra, okay? On the 15th day, please make offering to Sangha, okay? Please make offering to monastic community. On the internet, there are so many, okay? I can send you a list of the ones that I support, but those are just my suggestions. You can find your monasteries that you like, okay? I support Kopan Monastery, Shechen Monastery, I support King Gesa of Ling Temple, I support Sakya Monastery, I support Kaju Monastery, I support all, actually. So make offerings to Sangha, go and do an online donation, okay? Do it on behalf of your ancestors, put your ancestors' name. And if you know of a Rinpoche or a Lama who is doing the, the Jangjuk, my Guru, Kampatila Rinpoche, is doing that. So most of you have already filled up the forms and sent that. Do that. This is a very important one. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.